So, Coach, just talking about the conference opener last night, and you guys were in it, and just talking about the 20-4 run that really vaulted you guys. A different story from this team last year, and the heart and the fight that you continue to stress that this team shows.
I'm very proud of them. Very proud of the effort and the energy. First conference game, a little bit probably nervousness from them in the beginning, but once they settled in, they played like the team that I know that they can play a lot or play like. The basketball is a game of runs, and we know that the team that has the most runs or the last good run is the team that's usually the most successful one. So we're trying to continue to work on those possession games and making sure that we're the one that make that last run. It was a great run to cut that 15-point lead down and then take the 1-point lead. But then Lamar responded with a run of their own, hitting 2 big threes. So we got to make sure that once we make a great run and give that great effort to get back in the game, that we maintain that which we have worked so hard for.
And not only to do it last night in the manner in which you did, but against the opponent that you did in Lamar, who was near the top of the conference last season and brought a few pieces back from that team last year, probably gave the girls just even more energy to go on.
Absolutely. Lamar were regular season co-champions last year, and the girls knew that coming in, and Coach Robin is doing a great job over there. Of course, as you say, she lost a great piece, and she's rebuilding a little bit, but for the most part, they're the same Lamar in the fact that they still press, they're still going to play hard for 40 minutes, and that gave my girls a sense of confidence to know that if they can play with the co-champions from last year, that we have a lot to look forward to as we continue in this conference season.
And of course, with what Danielle was able to do, you mentioned about point guard position, kind of filling a little bit piecemeal with everybody involved, with Jewel and with Ariel and Danielle. This is the first game we kind of got to see Danielle in her full offensive arsenal that we were used to last season.
Danielle is a well-rounded player. She's naturally a 2-3 guard, but can step up and play the point guard as she did some at the end of last season. And I just think she did a great job on last night, and I commended her for her composure, not only being able to get the team going, but finding her niche and knowing where at the point guard position that she still can be the scorer that we need her to be. I think she did a great job on yesterday, and I told her I expect more of that from her. Whether she's playing the point guard or she's in her natural position, I expect to see that composure and that energy that she brought off the bench to the floor to help us get some wins here in the conference season.
And of course, in the post, with what Yasmin was able to do, she put down double-double last night with 10 points and 10 rebounds. And the other girls can just kind of feed off of that with the experience that Yasmin brings in so many games that she's played already here at the Lakefront. And just talk about that and what Raven was able to do as well on the boards, and how you guys were really able to change that around from the Kent State game and really dominate the glass.
It's really true. It's true that, positiveness can be contagious as well as negativeness can be contagious. And Yasmin energy is contagious. And having her at the top of our press and creating some difficulties there, getting some steals, and then her being on the boards just gave Raven, as you just mentioned, when I needed to rest Yasmin a little bit and take Yasmin off the ball and put Raven at the top of the press, it just gave Raven that same energy because Yasmin had did so well up at the top. It's just contagious, and she's just an energizer bunny. She's going to make mistakes, but Yasmin goes hard, and when she needs a break, she'll let you know, but you can guarantee while she's out there on the floor, she's going to give everything she has. She's a difficult matchup for people because she's small, she's scrappy, but as you seen last night, she'll take off full court dribbling and go coast to coast for layups as well, and that was an aspect of her game that many people have not seen, but she's well capable of doing it. And when the players on the court, and when the players on the bench, and when the fans see Yasmin go from one end where she just got a crazy rebound and dribble all the way to the other end and get a layup, that's energetic for everybody, and that's what she brings.
And the rest of the players were able to feed off of that as well. And last night, you were able to dig a little bit deeper into your bench. And Kayla brought you a few good minutes as well, getting a couple of hustle plays, some offensive rebounds, and keeping some possessions alive when she was in also.
The truth of the matter is our bench did a great job. They came and gave us 25 points last night, so I was very happy and pleased with the bench production. And you mentioned Caleb Monday, but the truth of the matter is our bench is much deeper, and some of the players that did not even touch the floor or didn't have a significant amount of minutes last night can contribute as well. And I think that's what's going to help us as we move forward, that even if someone who has been accustomed to playing many minutes not having a good night, there's always somebody that's ready to step in. Jewel Angelo is ready to step in. Kayla Mundy ready to step in. Denisha Jackson ready to step in. Mahilda Fogelstrom coming off the bench is ready to step in. They are really finally adapting to we thrive off of teamwork. And if one is not having a good night, somebody else is ready to go.
And you come up to this weekend now, starting with Incarnate Word on the road, the first road conference game. And with a Cardinals team that's kind of struggled a little bit, lost several seniors off of last year's team, just kind of what you're looking for in that matchup.
I look for their best. I think every team that we're going to play from here on out is going to give us their best. We're starting to create a culture here. We're starting to create an identity. And I think all teams know now that when we either come to them or they visit the Lakefront Arena, that they're going to have to give their best. So I expect nothing less on Thursday when we visit Incarnate Word. I think they're going to give everything that they have. I think they're going to bring exactly what we have seen all season. They're going to press. They're going to play zone. They're going to play man. So I think it's going to be a great game for us, and I'm looking forward to this first road conference game.
And the common denominator for you guys this season, being able to frustrate some teams and being able to make them settle for lower percentage shots. And we saw a little bit of that last night against Lamar. And that's kind of been the theme of this season, to where you're holding some teams to lower shooting percentages because you're getting them deeper into the shot clock.
We keep stressing to our girls that defense is what's going to win championships if we want to win championships. So we take pride in defense. We spend a lot of time on it in practice, and I know it can be frustrating when you're trying to work on things offensively, even in practice, and the defense is doing such a great job that we can't get offense going most days. But it's a highlight, it's a point of emphasis for us, and I think the young ladies are taking pride of it, and they're carrying over what you see in the game is the way they compete in practice, and that's what I couldn't be more happy about. They're competing in practice, and I tell them, if you do it in practice, you'll do it in the game. It just becomes natural habit. So what you actually see out there during game time is what they do to each other in practice every day. And they compete about, hey, we had a higher percentage than you. Hey, we got more steals over you. Hey, we made you turn over the ball. We created that turnover. And they get pumped up about it in practice, and I'm glad about it because they're doing it in the game.
And, of course, you carry it back to the Lakefront Arena on Saturday where you play Sam Houston State. And you look at this as the next couple of games to where maybe a couple of opportunities not only to compete, but to be able to get into the win column in conference play and get off to a nice little start, getting into the tougher part of the schedule.
Absolutely. These next two games are so important. I think it's so important for the confidence of this very young team that I still have. And if we can go to Incarnate Word and compete and get a win and then come back home and play Sam Houston and win, watch out Southland. Because all these young ladies need is a couple of wins under their belt in this conference so that they can get that confidence going, and it's going to be a long conference season. So they're excited. They really realize just how close they are. But I'll tell you this, they're not taking it more than one game at a time. We're looking at Incarnate Word first. We'll play on Thursday, and then we'll look to Sam Houston when we get there on Saturday.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.